Hello and welcome back to another video. So this video I'm hoping to do a thing. I thought I'd show off some work I've been doing in the background on this lovely editor here. So you can start this editor by running the program that this makes. It's a bunch of C code to do this, and it has a help menu which is kind of cool, and so I've added in some interesting features. So if we remember how to get up, so like this will delete a thing, and we can delete a switch, or we can in fact go into the switch and edit the chunks and then say get that second chunk and then delete that, or we could get some bugs. Cool. We can also go directly to switches, which is kind of cool. And so here we're selected over a block that is part of a chunk of a switch, and you can delete that chunk if you wish. So now the switch has not much going on with it, but that's alright. So there's a bunch of new things. You can also, I believe you can type in here. So say if we want to go to Cactusville, we can do CAC, and the shortest one kind of wins. What else have I done? We can also go to objects. There's no objects in this one, but say if we go to back to here, we can go to objects. There's only one left because I deleted the other one, and the help kind of tells you a few things about it. So to get into these features, this control R was getting into a room detail, and that's kind of editing. That's not control R hue. Oh goodness, that could probably get fixed. I pushed control D instead, but I want to control R. So control R is editing all of these things, and if I want, I can say edit the down one, and I can say it's the lift, and that text to type is working there, and you can see there's an underline and a bold for all the characters that might change the thing that it's suggesting that it changes, I guess. So damage we can now set to I don't know, maybe 10. I'm not sure that writes quite like that, but yeah, some of these numbers I don't know if it is meant to take up the full byte or not, but if it writes and doesn't crash, it will crash if it can't write the file properly, and that's kind of my hope. I think if I play this now, because I deleted the helicopter and maybe some important switches, it will be flickery perhaps, just because the switch IDs don't kind of line up, but if we get into the right mode, and then push the play. Yeah, so it's kind of flickery, but I mean it's still kind of doing things. So that's some things that I've kind of added. I might just, what do I want to do? I kind of want to copy in this original one back in, just because I deleted a few things. And I think I had perhaps it was, if we just do a good grep of to do. Yeah, we only had a few to dos I put in here. So I had an idea of like copying or like duplicating the thing you're under, which could be kind of cool. I suppose I showed how to delete all the things, but not really how to say if you want this switch, you can go Control S, and now you can change it. Maybe it's slide that it goes off, and I think even the arrow keys work the same for that. We'll leave it back at top. In here, I'm just pushing S, and like if I push O for once, so on. And if I do lowercase c, if it's got no chunks, it will make a new one and let you edit it. If you've got just one, it will go to edit it. If you've got more than one, it will get into this mode where it highlights all the numbers, and you can go into, say, maybe the second one, and you can change these fields. And I should say, in every screen, you can go Control question mark. Well, actually, I think it's just Control slash. Yeah. So I'm just doing Control slash, but I don't think. Well, I'll find out. So Control slash gets me something like that, but Control question mark gets me a question mark. So I guess the control is just not part of the equation if you've got shift down. So that's fine. So we're back here. Yeah, so control question mark on pretty much every screen. Well, question mark on pretty much every screen gets to here, and control question mark always gets here. There's a few places that you can't, and it's where you're typing in free text, say for editing a room name or going to a room name or something like this. So you can see here I can also like change the ID of it, because the IDs of the chunks might be important. So I just need to have a quick or that wasn't what I wanted to do. Well, it gets me into a nice, it's gotten into a funny state. I might go back into here and do that. I accidentally, so I'm using my funny keyboard, and I might, what is it, key map. I've been doing all this work on the, so we're kind of in, well, I'm in this layout normally, but this thing here is a backspace, but if you, if we get to like the layer one, how can I like find out what it is? It's also escape, I believe. Sometimes I feel like my keyboard is gaslighting me. Yeah, it's just what it is. Anyhow, when we're in this mode, it should have taken me back to, well, not quite this mode, this mode. I can actually create a chunk back, and so it by default starts with a block type, and it's up here, and it's width 8, and that's just kind of what a default 0 value is. You'll notice these are zeros, and the size is like a certain range, +1 or something, or like -1. Yeah, it would be -1, and then they'll wrap around. And the on-off will both default to there. So if we've got a block like this, we can move it around. I push T by accident instead of a useful key like that. And you can also change what it is by typing in some ASCII. and you can toggle whether you're looking at the on switch state or the off switch state. And so here we could maybe change this to 11 or something. The width, I forget how to do. Yeah, the V and caret. So if we go V, we decrease in side, and if we go caret, we increase in size. And if you go T, it changes the type of the chunk. So now, instead of being a block, we're actually pointing to memory and its tile offset. And here we can see this has a slightly different number of things. So here space will cycle through the memory fields for me. And it's got some advanced things. You can change the block size and decrease the block size. So if you increase the block size of a memory chunk, from what I gather from the assembly, it will just write a chunk of that much. But if you also have the direction being vertical, it will write a like vertical thing. I'll see if I can explain with this, because we can toggle the direction with space. So if it's like this, if you imagine all the memory variables that it writes are kind of like this, and I think 2 lines of tiles, you're basically writing there. But if you go like this, then it goes vertically like that. And if you have a size of more than 1, it might do some interesting things after it gets past the second one. Well, more than 2, I guess. All the ones in the game that are of memory, there was quite a lot of text, but that's, I think I don't know why. They all have a size of 1 and a horizontal direction, but you could change it. But here we can say change some memory things, and we can cycle through all the ones that we are allowed to change, and a lot of them you wouldn't have seen it, but it was name a few times. I can get into a better mode if I get standard error and just output it to a file, and then if we go back to here, go to there, and then go to here, go to here, and we can do that, and yeah, so it just cycles back around to where we were before. We can have a bit type, which I'm not sure on the full understanding, but this toggles another switch anywhere in the game. So whereas block is in this level, and I think the object, if I can get here, this object one is also within this level, objects in this level. But the bit seems to refer to in the entire game. So for example, one of these switches switches something in the left, I believe, and then this switch here switches something in the foyer, and that door there in the foyer lets you get out of the lift. Without that switch, you can't get out if you manage to get in. And if you don't switch this one, then it's just in a unusual state, because the switch is maybe like the power to the switch, but I mean it still works, but you just gotta push it in the right state first. And the object, you can do some well, in fact, yeah, so the on and off, that is can only be of a few values, so I've let you just cycle through them, and mask is also only one of 4 values, and index you can have anything, so you could have like FF, and it's a valid thing that can get rid of. I don't know what it refers to yet. That might be something I come to, perhaps today, perhaps not. And this one, the object, this index refers to an object in the room, I believe. So IDX0 refers to that, this helicopter. And we can kind of test this by, if we go to switch 4 or 5, so we go to switch 4, this is getting object 0, and if we go to 5, that's also getting object 0. We'll go back to our test switch here and get into here. The test was, it only has like a few values of what it's testing. I can't actually recall what that test was. I'll have to look back through my notes on that if I can understand my chicken scratch. And the value, this isn't right. Well, it's not fully right. It doesn't encapsulate all the possible values that it could be. This was my trying to understand what value raw is. So value raw is currently 0, but if we change it to 1, 1, maybe, so I put it to 2, 2, which makes this, the mouse works, but that's cool. So this changed it to down right, but I don't know if that's like completely right, and like 3, 3 it's still down right. So there's like this value here that I don't know what, it doesn't come into this equation, this kind of bit mask of this, if that kind of makes sense. So there's some unknowns, but this editor has got to a stage where you can create things, you can delete things, you can change things. You can't change all the objects yet. So if we, for example, get out of here, I need to not get in the habit of pushing that because it's just backspace and it deletes things. I could potentially remove that part, but yeah. So the object thing, I haven't done the to do create or edit object. So I was thinking that it could just be like changing the object type, or say if I create an object here for 1, and it should look like this Dalek guy here, R2D2, but it's not actually an object, it's just a block, because that 4 and the 1 mean something. I believe the 4 means it's an R2D2 and the 1 means it's got a damage of 1. But perhaps I could hit a hotkey here and it changes this into an object, but then how do I do this one? Do I want to toggle between a block and an object, block and a moving object, because that's kind of what I've got it called. And like this is a very much you might break things type of editor, because of I don't know of the full linkages between all the switches and whatnot. So like if I delete an object here, well, should I be going back through all the switches and like shuffling things down or up? Hard to know. But yeah, the editor's kind of getting in there in that state. So what I thought might be maybe interesting is we could do some tests. So I kind of want to, this is the original room. What I want to do is maybe change the left screen just to be foyer, and we can get out of that view. Q does not. Q does not get me out of that screen. I can potentially fix that. But anyhow, oh no, I want to get out of this view and then get out of that view, and then so I do wonder if I have too many things kind of going on here. So I kind of want to make a direct hole into foyer from we can oh no, we need to do this now, midnight. Though I think I made it so no, we can't do that either. Was it that? No. Anyhow, so if we go to midnight, now we should be able to go into the foyer and see how things are going, I guess. Now, the reason why I might want this to be done was I want this to move. So moving is shift under. So if we go shift, and we'll just annihilate all of that stuff. Perhaps we will have it yoinked there. And in fact, we can have it there. And if we edit that and have the side being the left side, and then I also want one of these. I think it's this one, but this one is also kind of interesting. So I guess the dealio with these switches is they I believe they're both once true, yeah. So they're both once being set to true. They start off red as a tile, and when you switch them, they switch to green, which is a thing with just any switch. Like you can just have a switch that has like no chunks, and it will just toggle the last bit. But these two switches, when you stand on one, it toggles the other one. So, well, it doesn't toggle, it basically switches the other one. So both will be switched to green at the same time as switching one. So because this one, we can see this one operates the block and it also has a bit. This one that bit must refer to this bit here. Like it just must. And we can see some things here. So this is index 0, and then it's got on off of 1 0, then mask of 1, and then here it's got another one index 0. And when you stand on this, it's got to know about the other one. So I would say this one is referring back to the first one, but it's got like a where'd we go? It's got a different on-off and different mask. So the mask here is 4. Now I should say I'm on switch 0 at the moment. And this is switch 1. So switch 1 is actually the leftmost one, and switch 0 is the rightmost one. So the mask has gone up. Now I even have written some kind of notes. Let me. We need to go into. Yes. No, we need, what do we call it? It's just that now. Get out of that mode. So if I go a.out display, so this was one of the first things I did. This also displays a similar tile map with similar colors. I potentially constrained myself by trying to make sure the colors here match what colors I put on here. I don't know why, but it's just what I did. So here we can see we took away the random nonsense as to what it was, but I believe it's still in a comment. So if I perhaps not that one, that one, and make you down there, and then maybe do something like that. So I didn't actually want room. I wanted maybe main, and we have a display at some point. Main display, cool. Display room. We just set display room. And if we have display room, we do a dump room. Cool. That must be in room. Yeah, so I think room is the place where we have it. And here we have things. Yeah, so toggle bit. I had a whole bunch of stuff commented here, which might be. Yeah, I don't know. So this is kind of what I was thinking. I kind of want to almost uncomment it, if only just so it's a bit easier to see. But yeah, so here it's like if some global array, so like every room of switches and like the number has this bit mask, then we do some things, and yeah, I don't know, but what we can do is we can probably just do this command, but make before it, and it will be a bit more verbose. And yeah, so we see here it's got a bit more to say about each other. So if we are looking at this rightmost switch here, the first one here, the toggle bit, this one here, so if global switch is 0, perfect, that is kind of what we're thinking. Now in this other switch, this is also checking global switch is 0, perfect, but this is checking his bit mask 8 and this is bit mask 2. And yeah, so I guess this one is somehow oh, perhaps, yeah, this bit mask was like kind of going up each time. Well, not there, but yeah, here it was like 8, and that's an object, but perhaps there was a reason why I commented this. It's confusing. Because it also just has like a random value, which I don't know. But anyhow, what we can do is perhaps make some hypotheses, and I kind of want back in room, and we had a dump room, and I would like to find this whole bit of stuff, and search. That's all good. What we can do is try and make some hypotheses as to what's happening. So this is switch error. If we maybe, is that not alt? No, that's which one was moved? Shift was moved. We'll bring you down here as well, and perhaps we'll put that there. So at this stage, all I've done is made it so we can kind of push those two buttons in a hurry, and we'll get into the foyer, and it should have opened up everything. But what I really want to do is I want to change what this switch is doing, and then see if another switch operates, because there is two more switches, and I have the ability to just like toggle it up now. So in this one here, what we can do is we can edit the chunk, and we're going to be editing chunk 1, and if we just say index, say 01, I believe that's written it. We can do a quick test just to confirm that. I believe I write after every action, but perhaps sometimes I don't. And here we can index is 1. Now, what do I think will happen when it indexes 1? Who knows? Perhaps index was the wrong one to kind of change. We'll set it back to 0. The mask might be the key. So we have 1 and 4. Perhaps this 10 will go to that wasn't what I wanted to do. Quit out of that and like create a new of bit, and also want to like minus u to there, and I forgot what the on off was. It was 1 2, so we can probably go 1 2, and the mask was 4. Cool. I might just quit out of that, and just because I like did some raw editing away from what I thought it would, I'll confirm it does what I thought it does. Cool. So what we can do now is maybe get back into that chunk editing mode. We could potentially just change the mask to the next one, and what I think this will do is instead of triggering 1, it will trigger 2. So I think this will trigger this at the same time, and so I guess the only way to find out is to play. And just to show you, we have a locked door there, and there was perhaps an easier way to get back in, but what I want to do is see if when I step on this, does this also trigger? It does. Look at that. Now, and it didn't trigger the top one here. So this index is perhaps the index as I had kind of thought it could be. how many switches do we have here? We have 5 switches. So if we, that 5 doesn't really do much, but if we basically get this, right, so the mask was the thing that we did, went up. So the index is still kind of the same thing. So what we can do is maybe edit the chunk and chunk 1. So 40 should be getting the next chunk. So that should be getting 3, I guess. So they'll open this as a visual cue. So this will probably open when I stand on this. Hey, look at that. Cool. So now what we should do is get chunks and get 1, and so mask now has cycled back around. So I think at this point I want to index being index 1, and that should just operate on the next thing, if that kind of makes sense. So the next thing from well, that's still to be top. The next thing from here would be 4. So this hopefully gets the helicopter. So if we play that, helicopter goes up and it hits the other switch and switches off. Cool. That is looking good. So I guess now I have the I'm on the wrong screen. I have the hypothesis that we will start going into here. So we'll be switching this switch on the wall here in the next kind of increment. So that was, well, no, the next one will just be this one here, but the next one after that, I think this will be that switch in there. So what we can do is get back to the main menu and then play here. So just to get an idea on the state currently, so it is yellow and red, yellow and red, yellow and red, yellow and red. You can make a song out of that. So if I go onto that switch, we need to, now it's yellow and green, so that switch opened. Cool. And that was the switch I thought it would be. Cool. So this and it switches the entire like all the chunks throughout the switch. So I don't exactly know, so perhaps we can get it back to the second thing, and it's flicking the other switch here. So I kind of want to take one time entry off, just to see what it does. And I want to work out what this on and off value could be, because it cycles around. There's not that many options that it could be, which, yeah, it's an interesting one. So if we get here, should revert back to just doing this, but we should be able to do it multiple times, but maybe just this switch multiple times. No, it does switch that one back, which is kind of interesting because that switch up there is still one time use. So yeah, kind of interesting, and perhaps I could have kind of gone up there to confirm that. But yeah, if we do that, and maybe yeah, do something like that. And what do we want to do? We want to do that. So yeah, that's once. Just does it once. Hey, look at that! I like fell through the gap. I like annihilated it with. That wasn't the one I wanted to do. Cool. Cool. So that's some progress. So what did I want to find out? This switch chunks one. Oh no, we want to get out of this switch and we want to go to switch 0. We still on switch 0? Yes, and then we want to get into here in chunks 1. So I don't know, set the off to 3. We'll see what that does. I kind of want P to work here, but and it's something that I could do. I just could do. So the system that I'm using for like tracking all the keys is not done the best, but what we can do is if we just search for key, we should, oh no, we search for that kind of key. So if we get this and if we look for chunk, so we want bit details, it's just for Liz, and here we can just do well, in fact we can, oh, I didn't really want to do that, did I? I want to go back here and then yes, and this one, and then go here, and we can go outside if buff equals, and this will be a P, and we'll close it off with that, and open up that, and we can paste in that thing there. And now if I go P, it should play from that screen. It only will do it for bits, but smaller bits. So, what do I even... can't recall what I wanted to do apart from this was, I used to go back to there, and I guess like on and off of 0, does that have any difference? Yeah, so that's not really switching the switch. But if we, I don't know, an off of 1, so now that was interesting. That was interesting, quite indeed. So I'll let it do its flashing to get to here. I go on it once, it doesn't do its thing. I go on it another time, then it does it. So it kind of needed to get in sync, which is probably how the lift is before you do its thing. So perhaps if we change this off value to 1 more and kind of see what that does. So nothing, nothing. So this doesn't seem to do anything at all. And an off value of 3. And I wonder if it is just meant to be Boolean, in which case what are those fields for? Now see, this is that's just black magic. It doesn't work every time, but doesn't work every time, but that's kind of spooky. So if we get back to just 0, I should write down these encounters. But yeah, that definitely just does seem to be never. Right, so if we change the on value, I wonder whether this will now work the first time, but not the second time. So it'll work that time, doesn't work that time. That was just my hypothesis. And for 2, I think it won't do anything. That seemed to be the case for the off. So it does nothing, does nothing, does nothing, does nothing. And it still continues to do nothing. And this, I think, it'll do that like weird cycle thing where it was on, off, on, and then stop being every time. I don't know, it was kind of weird. So it does it that time. Doesn't do it that time. Right, I was wrong. Does it that time. Doesn't do it that time. So it's like every second time. Which I don't recall that being the case for the off, but perhaps it's because it needs to get into the right state first. Yeah, so I did that like quick fire. I think it's because so both green, red and green up top, both red, both green. I think it's because it gets in like a weird state there that it has to, I don't know, it gets 2 in a row. Now, I wonder how this combines when we say both have one. I reckon this will do it every time. I think. It doesn't. See, now that's interesting. So, just to confirm, when one was one, it definitely did at least one of them. Yeah, like there. Alright, that was like that. And that one, the other way around. Well, I suppose I could just be doing it. Or even diagonals down. Tricky with this keyboard. Alright, so yeah, it's kind of odd. So what if like they're both different like that? Oh, I'm like partway through editing a number. So there's potentially some combinations that could be useful. Cool. So from there, I can probably work out exactly which switch it is operating from this IDX and mask. I would have to read each room. Yeah, like so far it's been quite compartmentalized, but should be able to get that from there. And the on-off pattern is kind of just a pattern. I wonder if they're on-off, like smushed together, have a certain bit pattern. That's potentially useful to see if we search for like off like equals, so we can check if this is the one and see if it makes a change. It doesn't. We can well, no, it won't be there, but we can check here if that's the one. I want to get out of there. Right, what about this one? No. I feel like it should be. Oh, is it because it's not compiling? Oh, it should definitely be compiling. Took a hot minute, but I did that thing again. Cool. So we'll go here and add a new chunk and call it that, and bring it down there, and its mask was there. Yeah, I feel like this is where it should be kind of hitting, or one of the other ones that kind of strike it. The fact that it keeps on flashing into there kind of makes me wonder. Where does you go? Okay, you can do that. Well, this is a little conundrum. What I might do is, if we source personal Spidey, so if we have a look in here, and if we tail minus F here, it should be, yeah, it is doing the hot reloading still. It takes a hot minute, but now, so this is, I want to see when it is like selected like that, and that will be one of these ones with some nice color coding. It won't be that one. It won't be that one. It'll be this one, but why hasn't the last search? It did come up there. I feel like this is what we're doing, right? So we have some chunks. We can kind of verify that. I don't get it. Oh no, there. It's just taking a hot minute to reload, I think. So we reload and it goes back to there. Right, so perhaps I go back to my current thinking. Not sure it was like that useful to do this, given how much effort it was. So if we get my hand in the right part of the keyboard, so if I wait a few seconds for it to reload, yeah, so now it's done that off. So what could be kind of handy is we could just do %B and %B, but perhaps like 03. Well, what do I let this go up to? Just 3, so we could just say 02, O2B and O2B, O2B on O2B. That's because I don't explicitly do that. How do I get around that error? You're very helpful, and it just doesn't tell me. Print to F %B. How do you get this going? You just need to import. Let's see. Like how do I you tell me how. Do I have to like include this thing? Yeah, so I like just define this. Is that what you want from me? What say you? Even after I do that, you still don't like it. Well, I kind of want to see what it is in binary out of those two things. So what I might do is do something like this. We can do and if you have two set, and if you have and similar if you have so I guess doing something like this might be a bit clearer. We don't pass it enough. That's all right. No, I guess I want this one B1 and zero B1 and that can be that, and let's do that, and yeah, went one more than I wanted. Do something like that, and just shift down one, and then go back here and like do something like that, and then there, and shift that one down. Do something like that. Golly, it doesn't like that. It's because of these. Right, so I just know that is 2, and I just know that this is 1. So that's 2, and that's 1. I just know it. Alright, so that did that, and now it gives us a bit mask maybe. You have to use your imagination on what it's doing, but I just wonder, like, will something like this do it every time? They're all wrong. Cool, so that's doing it every time. So if we maybe, we've gone there. I've selected that window, cool. So if we maybe take that off, perhaps it won't go the first 2 times, but then it will go the second 2 times, or something like that. So doesn't, doesn't. Well, that did something weird. I think because it interacts with that one, talks back with it, might interfere this. So perhaps I might get it up to the next mask. Now, is that the next switch in line? Yes, it is. Cool. So here we can maybe go back in and we can just confirm this is now going to instead of switching that one, and we'll switch this one here. So green. It's like every second one, is it? Or I guess you could say it's only when it's off, which yeah, kind of makes sense. I'm not too sure what to make of these on-off things, but perhaps if we make a nice little pattern like so, we can see whether that does that sort of a pattern. So we can just potentially turn gravity up. This is just doing deadly squat. Interesting. Oh well. I think I have solved one thing, which is the doing that. So I think I don't want this mask like that. I will just kind of have it as is. We won't have it as 2Bs. We won't have no source. We'll just have just as X and X. Perfect. Cool. So, I think that's all good. Why have your manners been upset? I think it's because we like had this, then like now if we save it might be good. And if we let's save that now, that's still doing the trick. Yeah, cool, that's still doing the trick. So if I want to test something else now, I kind of want to test like different directions. So yeah, I might do this, and perhaps I will move this so it's a bit easier to well, maybe I'll make this just do this with my newfound knowledge of setting this to that one. No, like 01, something like that. And that is because we have that one and then that one. Cool. So to confirm, and then we probably want this to have like does this have what it was? It was 1, 2, which helps if it is going to do the thing that you think it's going to do. so 1, 2 would need something like that. Cool, so at this point here, we should be, that should operate the helicopter when I move on top of this space. It does, and it makes it go up. So now if we, let's get out of that mode and then into here. So now with this chunk we can change some things. So I kind of want to know what all the values are. So I think I want to do some things like just make some space for it to do whatever it wants. Maybe a bit more space there. Cool. So at this point here, we could change this value to something a bit more exciting. So this might make it go down. Now, that's P I want to get here, and I want to get what are we editing? An object. This object, and get there a few different ways. But surely there's just one like that. And if I paste that back there, now we should be able to push play once this. Why is it being difficult like that? So it seems to be because I have played in the past, I've played it, but then exited that, or like not waited on it properly, but I feel like I got all the steps right. But anyhow, this will do what did I think it was going to do. It reckons I'm going to make it go down. It goes down. Cool. And what do we reckon about? Alright, so 4.0 might be a little interesting. Because it doesn't have anything listed. Doesn't seem to do anything. Now, it could bring things to a stop if it was going, which we can test that a different way. Alright, 6.0 seems to think it's up. Seems legit. And we want that hotkey. And so 7.0 also thinks it's up. We'll give it a test. We've got some extra little bits. Like it doesn't know about one of the bits. Now it seemed like it went quicker. I don't know. What I want to do is, if we get out of all these modes, down here I want to create a new switch. We look at that. We want to get out of the edit mode. We want to quick jump to there. So I want to do object 0 to stop, which is just that. So here we can do a edit switch, edit some chunks, make it object test of 2, and that's what we need. So I kind of now want to go back to 4. So we're making it go up, but it's kind of like a weird, funny thing. So here, what can we do? We can make make it go left, make it go right, left. Now I had some notes on what these might have done. Perhaps I even made a comment. Yeah, I did make a comment. So these are kind of what I thought it was back in the day. So I wonder what just 1-1 does. We'll see what 1-1 does, because it doesn't fit into either of the two things. So it makes it go up, and it makes it go down. See, that did an interesting thing. I wasn't actually looking at the screen, but I wonder if it's coming down like on an angle like that. And which switch are we currently on? We're on switch 5, which is all the way out there. So we're on that top switch, and that makes it go down to the right. Interesting. And it's only really after it hits there that it kind of goes down. So what if I just go 1-0? We're not in a, well, we'll be able to see the invisible chunk now. But if I just make it 1-0, does that make it just go down? Just go down when it's 1-0. So, what I want to do is perhaps make it go 0-1, and we can quit out of here and maybe make some space for it. We'll want that sort of space, I believe. And so this might just go right. Just goes right. It goes right at a slower pace than what we're going up with. And let me remind myself how we're getting up. We're getting up with like double the 60. Yeah. So I wonder if we set this back to just 60, whether this now has the same speed going up then to the right. It still seems kind of slow. And I did think right was meant to be 2, so if we get to this switch again, so I did think right was meant to be 2, so I wonder if this is a more full speed moving right. Yeah, it seems about the same speed, to be honest. So, I might come back here and maybe make some comments, and we can end that comment there. So 0, 0 is stop, 0, 1 right slow, and 0, 2 right normal. I don't really want to go through all, but I've done some things. What did I do? I just got out of things. That's alright. But I want to kind of see how they combine together, because now we should have a 4 and a 2 makes it go left, which means it's got the right components in it, but it's also got the 4, so that might just mean invert whatever if you've got that, the 4 bit. Anyhow, so what's 3? We go, oh, there we go, right. So I wonder if we're wanting to go, let's move you down, and then we can kind of see whether it wants to also go like up or something, but ups, no, I feel like we've got nothing in the up compartment. I wonder if that's quicker though, like is that quicker than 1? Real slow. Yeah, real slow. I was maybe get off that, and here this is like a bit more normal speed. Cool. And 03, was that just quicker? Seemed like it might be a little quicker. What I really need is another object, which I don't have a clone objects thing at the moment. I could do a manual patch to change this guy into another object or something, but yeah, maybe that test can wait. But if we go 04 now, it's interesting. Yeah, so 04 I was thinking was just inverting whatever. So inverting of so maybe this is quick. Hard to tell with that. So this like could be the invert, but so if you have that set, then the opposite of stop at the moment will be happening, which sure it will stop, stops. 05, it will go left slowly. We'll go left a bit quicker. That wasn't what I wanted to do. That one was. And left even quicker. Now, at this point here, this is a brand new bit and seem to not really have anything listed here, so I don't know what this will do. I probably tried it at some point, but it stops. Yeah, so this was left, slow, mid, and high, and then this can go up like that, and this was, ooh, it thinks we're octal. Well, in fact, like, what we can do is just do 0x, and that's what we are. So if it is 08, it's that 09. I would guess it's going back to the right slowly. So I would say that top bit is just not used at all. So I mean, a quick test would be if we did OA, I guess. So that would be 9. It would be right slow, then right normal. So this would be right normal. Maybe I want O C, and like OA actually said right. But yeah, didn't think anything here about OC. That's back to just invert bit of it's stopped. So I would imagine this is stopped. It is stopped. So now if we go OD and we see if this helicopter is OD itself, and it goes to the left, which is what I thought. So it's kind of just going through this list. So that top bit is just ignored. And it makes me wonder why it's ignored and like what it potentially could be used for. Yeah, hard to know. But so that kind of means that if we do something like 1-0, this is now going what will be down slow. That would be my hypothesis, and hopefully that works when we do that. Yeah, so it's going down just a little slower. Easy. So I actually want to go here first. So here we want to go. Here I want to go there. Down slow, and maybe put a little pause. And so now that we can kind of see what it's doing, this is going to go down to the right slowly. So they're both going the same kind of diagonal. And yeah, it's a 45. That's a 45. But if we do something like 1-2, it will be a steeper angle, and might clear that little post-it got caught on. Yeah, so now it's going 2 across each time. And 1-3, it might go even quicker. So if we do something like that. Yeah, potentially. Well, what we can do is if we do both 2, 2, this is going to be even, so we'll get caught on that. But 2, 3 won't. And that's a good test to see whether it is actually another speed higher. And yeah, it seems like it is, like, minutely. It wasn't much. It wasn't as much as when we had 1 and 2. That seemed a bit more pronounced. Like it well cleared it. Didn't even touch the post, but then 2, 3 it did touch the post. But it touched it on the bottom. Cool. So yeah. That gives me a lot better understanding on how this is currently working. So this so that was 3 and that was quick. So if we do a quick test of so if we go into there, and if we want 4, 0, that's a stop. So it goes up and it stops. But then 5, 0 will make it keep on going up, I guess. But slower. So you can make kind of speed gains with this, yeah. And this will go up at the same speed. Yeah, that seemed about the same. And then this will go up just a notch quicker. Seemed a bit quicker. Cool. Right, so that's a good understanding of that. What this test is, I just do not know. So let's change it. I don't know. Let's set it to 0 and just observe what it does. And so this is when it's hitting that second one. So we trigger it to start with on the bottom, and then it did something. And what did we think? Maybe I'll set it to that. Perhaps I might make it go a different direction just to make it a bit clearer that it has changed a thing. So perhaps I'll go 8-0. Not 8-0. Like we want to go. Well, in fact, yeah. What if I do like 6? It'll go to the left, but we've also got that weird 8 value. So it should turn a corner. Doesn't. Now, is that because of that test? That feels like it's because of the test. Yeah, so it's just not, it's not touching it, but I can hear it, it's doing a thing. Right, so if I put it test 2, this should hopefully stop it. Cool, so that stopped it, and now if I do that 8-6 test, now I, yeah, and on the test of 2. So that test 1 just means it doesn't trigger. Now, I wonder, on switch 4, we have a test of 2. What if we switch this to test of 1? See what it does. Doesn't go anywhere. Cool. So that's a thing to know. So that test of 1, it kind of just disables it. And I kind of want this to maybe go down. So if we go, actually no, it's 3.0. Yeah, if we go down at a high speed, and we're testing for 2 now. What if we test for 3? Doesn't go anywhere. Test for 0. Doesn't go anywhere. Test for 1. Doesn't go anywhere. Test for 2, and it does. What do I reckon that test was doing? So in the room.c, we had the dump room. So in this, no, I wanted that. Yes, I want that. I want. Oh, that's not in Vim. Cool. I was like, why? I thought it was a Vim window to the below of it. Right, so here we had our switches. Now we had toggle block. We understand that pretty well. Toggle object. So here we can kind of change some things. Here we were like, it has to be pretty precise. But now I kind of understand a bit better. And here we had another thing. So we're checking whether the switches are like switched or something. Interesting. And I noticed these bitmasks that I'm saying that it's being tested against are like one off on the bitmask that you can do for the bit. These ones, or is it not? These 28220. That did seem like. So if we go to like switch 0, yeah, this is like 1414, not this 2828. So yeah, this it's either wrong or, well, like we're showing what the bit mask is, and we read the bit mask at some point. And bit mask. So the bit mask is read from this array, and it says it's 104. Yeah, and I've got this comment here. And this is the toggle bit. Yeah. Yeah, so the sprites we can interact. So that is this H. Yeah, perhaps I can try that. So what we can do is go to switch 4 and we can try and toggle this object up here. So, well, in fact, maybe I'll make the helicopter fly up into, or fly down into a thing, into switch 6, and then this will toggle our next index object, and we'll make it, I don't know, do 8, because that seemed like the interesting thing to do. So the helicopter goes down, and it, I didn't hear it actually switch it, to be honest. I wonder if I need to bring you up here. Oh, and I wonder if that's right. So what we can do is switch, edit that, and maybe make it just stop to start with, and then we can figure out what that 8-bit does. So goes down, doesn't do anything to R2D2. So what if we change that test? Maybe that makes it stop. Maybe if I change the test again. No, and I'm not hearing it switch, which makes me, in fact I can test this bad boy. I can just make a switch up there, and we can maybe make it go 5-4, and we can make it, let's say C4, CD there, cool. And that will just give us a visual cue of what's happening. But yeah, test of 1 to see whether this does a thing. I didn't actually look to see what the sprite was to start with. So it is those discs, and then we do that. So yeah, it's just not switching this bottom one. I think I want to maybe go to switch 5 and maybe make you stop. Cool. And then we can also have something like this, and we can have actually no, we can have 44, sure, and we can have D4, sure, and perhaps we also have the another one. I forgot. Yeah, doesn't matter. In this mode, you can add a new thing, which can be useful, but now I need to get rid of it. But we can go here, and so now I want to IDX the next one, and I'll see if that triggers that. So yeah, we'll try that play. So it's like that in the corner. Is that right though? Yeah, I feel that didn't get this, and we want to make this go 60. Not that. Do that and switch chunks 60. 60. Cool. So now that will make it go up. And that definitely, oh, I think I know why. This, when I made this switch down here, I did not make it, no, side top, it should work once it, yeah, I don't know. Perhaps there is a limit to number of switches. Can we move you carefully to, I don't know, like, cool, so that does exist there. Yeah, we can make it look like that or something. Cool. So how do we get this R2D2 to stop? Oh, I thought I was midway through editing. There's some bugs in this code, I'll tell you that. Anyhow, in here we can go to 3 and maybe do test of 1, and then you can just cycle through the tests and just make sure that it is doing the thing that it is meant to be doing. So if we have tested 2, does that do anything different? I'm hoping that the R2D2 will die. Golly, it just died. Makes me wonder. We don't need this anymore. There's a oh, that makes me wonder. Cool. So if we go to 5, was it? Yeah. So this just kills them outright. What I'm wondering is, I actually have a maybe silly script, but there's a script called hiscore, which basically empties out the entire map and goes down to the end. In fact, we can BP maybe. Can we maybe just go like that? Yeah. If we do something like this, and I want to copy this. But then I also want to copy the original backend. Well, I just want to run hiscore now actually, so it rewrites a lot of things, and the editor doesn't like it when you're having to rewrite, yeah, because it's happening so quick. So it's doing a few things, and like if I screen this, I don't know, it's writing a whole bunch of stuff. So what it's doing is actually going through, clearing out every tile out of every room, making the gravity go flip-flop between them. Makes a few new rooms because you get points for every room you go into, and there's a couple of rooms that weren't in the original game. But yeah, this is what compression looks like, video compression, if you're looking on YouTube. But so now if we, well, in fact we can, I'll show you what it looks like. So it's just turtles all the way down. But yeah, if we go to Mysterio's End, this is what Mysterio's End looks like. And I believe when we come in, we do something. But yeah, if I just start the game, it should. It's just going through all the levels. And when it gets to the last screen, yeah, so I've just made it so he's on flames. But I wonder, with my newfound ability of knowing how things work, I wonder if I can just. So he is like object 3. Wait, which object is he? He's object 0. That's kind of weird that it still shows the 3 there, not the 0. Small bugs to fix, but yeah, so what I can do, he's object 0, so we can potentially create a new script, new switch. We can make entry false. We can create a new chunk, and we can make the object, and we want test to be something, but perhaps that is enough to kind of spin up. We don't actually want anyone to hit that. It should just run on entry. So I'm going into speed running now. Like, look at me go. Right, there's potential. Nothing happened there. What I want to do is actually put another chunk on, just so we know something's happening, and so we can, I don't know, have something like that. That way we know something's happening, and while we're at it, might as well change test to be one more, because that's potential as to what was happening. I could make this go a bit quicker by jumping through. Cool, so that does that. What if we do test of 2? Was that the one that we had for the other one? So it doesn't die there. What about test of 3? That is the thing that we had. I just noticed that. This. Cool. So that wasn't what I wanted. So what I want to do is copy this to like win something, and then if I copy temp to rooms.spill, so that's the original game, and if we go back to if we go to here, so which one of these killed something? It was this. We just got the object index and we just set it to 2. So we'll quick play on that. Goes up and it kills it. Now I want to do another quick test. Got a lot of quick tests that drag on, so maybe once he's going the other way, it doesn't work. So maybe wait a touch more before I do it. So after he hits this, it still does it. And if we have a test of 3, does that change anything? It does. He doesn't die. So if we just win this, and I kind of want to change down to be Mysterio's in. So now if we play this, we should room Mysterios, and if we play this, we should go down straight away to here. Hey. So if we go to switches 3 and chunks of 2, I guess. Just move you down to there. Perhaps I want wants to be not true, and then I'm going to get you around. We can have something like that, and that way we can trial things out a bit more, and here we can just change that to 4-4. Look at that, just change the chunk of the switch. Magic. So now, not dead. If we switch that switch, not dead. Alright. But now we have a better way to maybe test 2. This is what old R2D2 had. And if I test my objects, that's you are the first object. Otherwise we could go to Mary Jane, do something with her. We could potentially kill her. Otherwise, what do we have? We've got these 2 things that come in to old Mary Jane. So that one killed him straight away. So why did this entry not? If we turn the entry off, one time off, we'll try that. Because I feel like the entry should. Alright. So what if we go back into 01 and we set the room of down to be foyer. Yeah. So now if we go back here, we can go to room Mysterios. So now won't die. We'll just get to that last screen. But I want to see where we end up. So if we put a switch here, like this switch, I love how we like hop out from the like can't seem to like edit it manually, but what I kind of want to do is it that? No, it's flame starts there, so if we just put it there, this should just kill it. We'll start a new game, or it's going to make yeah, I've cracked the world record. The world record of hacking the game. So to do that, we, instead of doing this patch here, so this was make Mysterio's platform fire. So instead of doing this, what we are going to do is make switch that we hit on entry kill Mysterio. This is going to change things. So what we want to do is we want to do some patching. So what we want to do is we added a new switch for that, didn't we? So we call it switch 3. So I believe we can go switches just 3 like that, and then I kind of want to do some testing of this. So we need some space view. Alright, how's that? Source personal and Spidey, that's the one. So if we go patch room 63, and if we just go switches, I'm going to go 4 here because we need a new one basically. So we're going to have chunks 1, and the type is going to be toggle object, thanks. And can we see a bit more about it? We're going to have dot test is going to be 2, and I think that's all we need to do. And then we just go yoink, and it's made another switch that just has that. Now we do need to say where it is. So I guess well, what I can do is delete that and delete that. Is that what I wanted? Yeah. Cool. So now what we can do is go back to switches 3 because now we know it doesn't exist. And we wanted to set that XY to be there. So X is going to be 0x3 and dot Y is going to be 0x14, and then you go dot chunks type, and then it'll do a bunch of things. So I think if I do this, boarded is alright. It's just, it doesn't know how to do things too quick. And then that looks legit. So I want this, and then maybe to come over here and just have that same thing, and I think that's what I want. And then I can just go play, and then this will be the world's quickest possible that you can beat this game with the highest score. Didn't work. It just didn't work. What did we need to do with it? We needed to set do we need to set like the size? I don't believe we needed to do that last time. Maybe set once to be true, even though we should only need. Oh, the test isn't right. Test is 0. So why did test of and it's getting this abort happening as we're doing it. So we wanted to go to Mysterios and then switch 3. So we write that, and what does it reckon? We have that and one time use whatevs, and we have dot testers not going up. So that will be in main, in main we do dot test tst yeah, so if we have something like this, it should be here. Now, is this we're getting a chunk and then we're checking what it is. So that makes me think we need to go in like that. Right room, this test, we do get it, and it's just alright. Do we overwrite this at some point? This is just a large test thing. Right, so if we do that, we get to this point here, and because this just won't do if it's not doing the right thing. Maybe I'll keep that there. So this sort of test here, we have test boom 4. Alright, so that means, and it's two different ways of just playing this data. Alright. Cool. So if we go to Mysterios and if we go to switch 3, edit the chunk, and set test to be the right thing. Cool. But it's only for when we're not kind of highlighting things. So when we are, we would probably just have est, equals, that sort of thing. Do we really? Oh, that's because it is st equals that sort of thing. There should be another one. No, it's because we clear it off. So it's this one here, and we do it right there. Mt that equals. And that's the only place we do it. Cool. So if that is the case, does test need to be we had that command over here, did we? So we would want 0x, and it's downplayed by 4, so we would want it to be 2.0. Is that what we want? We'll do that. Because that's just what it does. If we go here, test is 2.0. Cool. So now if we go to high score, we'll do this, and then we go 0x 2.0. Boom. And then from a stock standard game like so, so if we play this, it's the usual. Looks pretty normal. So if we now do high score, they'll rewrite a whole bunch of things, and then this should get us into a just extremely quick playable state. It takes a while though, and I should finish up this video, but I'll do this and make a record. Oh, yeah. I guess hopefully this was of interest, showing all the new features of the editor and sort of what you can do. You can create new stuff, you can delete new stuff, you can basically do everything that you could with Patch, but in the editor, and it's kind of a bit more interactive. Cool, so when you do this, we now just do play, and just goes so good. Didn't do it, eh? I don't know why well, I know it's possible. Now, so here we wanted once to be true, and I think that kind of made it possible. No. Maybe entry also to be true. It was working just before. I've got a copy of the win file. Yeah. Beautiful. So I wonder how long that is. I don't really know how best to test this. I don't know how I tested the other one, but perhaps I could just do a time and then kill the window once it dies. Just real quick. Didn't really do it too much, but yeah, I don't know, like 12 seconds, 11 seconds maybe. beat that. Anyhow, what have I done code-wise in this? I've added P to a few things. Just changed that and done that. Sure, I'll kind of add in that stuff. Get comment notes from video. And we can push that up. So these changes are all up there, and anyone can feel free to have a high score. And like, I wonder, is there anything else? No, I think, yeah, we get like max gravity, and we kind of alternate between going up and down. Everything's empty. No switches, no objects. Doesn't really need to do that, but and then we do that. Oh boy. So this we needed to do. Is it just entry true? So I guess we can try some entry false. Nah, you. Entry false. So entry needs to be there. Or that should do it. We call it room entry. Room entry. So I guess set it to false, and if we do that, and then room stereos in section 3, we have entry false. Now, what I was thinking was, did we want one-time use false? Did we care about the one-time use, or is entry just enough? So this, yeah, that was enough. Cool. So if we get back to there and go to that, entry was enough. So if we and it was room entry, and it was actually unfortunately on just there. Yeah, so if we do that sort of thing, so unfortunately I like things to be reproducible, so I will run this again, and we can, I don't know, even high score and time, we can time it even though I don't always quit straight away. Be better if I had a hotkey that I can just push when it does the trick, but yeah. Look at it go. Whee. Takes a bit of time. Just a bit of time. It's a few levels in the game. It's a good game. I rate it. And I definitely rate playing the full thing through. But around 12 seconds. Look at that. Cool. So I think that I've done that. Fix up high score. Well, anyway, I think that is good enough for now. I've made quite a breakthrough with a few things. I might want to just copy that one back, just so I know kind of where I am. Yeah, made quite a breakthrough on the different types of switches, so I've got a clear understanding on the switch bit indexes, so the mask is part of it, and I can probably just make a thing to say this will toggle the switch in there, and I wonder whether I can toggle a switch like I just made in the Mysterios, just kill Mysterio from this screen. Be an interesting one, because that would make the quickest the quickest speed run. I have tried in other experiments at other times having Mysterio on midnight. Any way you kill him that I could find at that time did not beat the game, or like I couldn't even kill him or something. Maybe it took an age, but it just crapped out the game. I can't actually recall. But if I have something that can just kill him, that could be the goer. Anyway, I hope you have liked this. It's been a while since I've done a video, and I'm going to get back into the habit of that maybe. See how things go. If you enjoyed it, let me know. Feel free to let me know however you want. Comments might be good, comments might not be good. Each person's their own, but I would appreciate knowing whether people are watching, if that kind of makes sense. That's all for now. Feel free to check out other stuff on my channel. I've got like a bunch of other videos spanning from like programming, like operating systems, to other various low-level stuff, or like this game editor, and I've done some like speed runs and stuff. So there's a few things that might keep people interested. Until next time, though, thanks, and I'll see you.